I'm Ashley Easter.
And I'm Charlie Grantham, and you're listening to Serendipity,
the podcast where we explore everyday magic all around us. Hey, welcome back to the Serendipity podcast. Today, we are going to be doing a mini episode where Charlie's going to be sharing a serendipitous story. I love these mini episodes because we just get to focus on something serendipitous, and you can watch it, like listen to it or watch it on our YouTube channel, in just a short amount of time. Like if you're putting on your makeup or, driving from one place to the other. I just think it's a lot of fun to do these short ones. And so, Charlie, what do you got for us today?
Okay, this is a really fun story. And I just want to start by saying I might not get every single detail right. Because there's there's different storylines in this.
Yeah.
But the overall point of the story is true. It's correct.
Okay.
Okay. So Nate's grandpa, his dad's dad, was really good at baseball. And this is where one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if this is accurate, but I want to say he told me he was in the minor league.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he was pretty good. So that part might not be right, but that's what I remember. And so he actually played, it was in Kansas, and this story starts in 1963. He, I guess, I don't know what his positioning was or anything like that, but the point of it is that he didn't have kids yet. Nate's dad, I think wasn't even born yet.
Okay.
And so just some technical stuff, because I didn't really know this. A grand slam in baseball is the best thing you can get.
Okay.
It basically means all the bases are loaded and then a home run is hit. So you get 4 runs from one hit.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's actually pretty rare to happen. That's I Googled about this. It's pretty rare for it to happen. So it doesn't happen that often. And it's just super exciting. That's why it's called a grand slam. Okay. I knew of the grand slam as I think a Waffle House entree, but apparently it's probably named after the baseball. So anyway, it was 1963, and Nate's grandpa, he ended up hitting a grand slam. He, had a grand slam. And so it was this big deal. And somebody on the team or whatever went and picked up the baseball that he hit the grand slam with. And I think he wrote on it Nate's grandpa's name, which was Roy Horton, and then it said Grand Slam 7/10/1963. So anyway, fast forward, at some point Nate's dad was under 5 years old, maybe 4. He doesn't quite remember, but that guy came over who picked up the baseball and said, hey, I saved this, and I thought maybe you would want it because your son might appreciate it someday.
Yeah.
And he took it, and really cool. I mean, this is a cool story in and of itself.
Yeah.
But fast forward a few decades, or maybe more than a few, and Nate and I get engaged, and we pick a date, and we call his dad and tell him, and he asks what is the date, and we say July 10th, 2016, and he was like, oh my gosh. And he remembered the story, and so he gave us the baseball that says his grandpa's name. It says Grand Slam on our anniversary, basically, so many years before, July 10th. And we didn't know that. I, of course, did not know that story.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy that happened on the exact day that then we got married. I mean, however many years later, over 50 years later, it's
That's
just
amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible, especially the grand slam. I don't know, I just like it because it's we hit a grand slam with our relationship. Yes. Nate's grandpa hit a literal grand slam, and so it's just a really cool story, and I think it's really special to have that connection. And so it's fun to have the baseball too, because it's reminds us of the serendipitous story. So I remember that, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a serendipitous story. I feel and these are the same grandparents that episodes ago, I said we found a wedding picture where they had the same wedding cake topper
Right. No
as
way.
my
Oh my
grandparents and that.
gosh.
Yeah. So like, that's like really crazy.
That is amazing. No, I love that. And it's like kind of the idea of the matrix is that like we're living in a big computer system. And when
Mm-hmm.
you look at coding for computer, it's like all numbers.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I just think that that is so amazing how like all these numbers are adding up, all these synchronicities. And I don't know. There's just so many reasons I think you and Nate are supposed to be together. And I love how you keep getting these little like confirmations,
Mm-hmm.
even things that happened like 50 years ago. Like,
Right.
who would have thought? Like, I'm sure when he hit that grand slam, he didn't even cross his mind that he would have, what is it, great grandchildren? Um,
Well,
that,
no, the grandchildren. Yeah. It was, yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that he would have grandchildren that would get married.
I was about to say, Ashley, don't start with the great grandchildren. But yeah, no, I'm sure it did
Remember if
not.
it was Nate's dad's grandfather, but it was his father.
Yeah, it was this, yeah. But but yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like he wouldn't have even maybe like thought of it. And what's also cool is we've said this before, like you kind of
Uh-huh.
brought it up about the wedding cake topper because Nate's dad is adopted. And so like
Mm.
all the pieces of the puzzles that like came together and like all, you know what I mean? Like it's just because at that point he wasn't born, he wasn't adopted like yet. And so it just feels meant to be, like it all just feels meant to be. And so I love that type of stuff. And I was so excited to share that. Especially it's fun to have like a prop, like to be like, I don't know if
Yeah.
you can see like on
Yes. Oh my
really
gosh. I
backwards.
can see it. Oh, that is
Yeah.
so cool.
So cool.
I love
So
that. We'll
yeah.
definitely like post a picture of that baseball
Okay. Yeah.
on Instagram because I know people are gonna want to see it for sure. That was such a good story. I mean, gosh, I love serendipitous stories. It's
I
so
know,
fun.
same.
Oh,
And yeah, if you have a serendipitous story, write in, let us know. I think if you've been listening for a while, you know we have an email,
yeah.
pod.serendipity@gmail.com, or our Instagram at serendipity.pod. We would love to share your story on the show.
Yes, please send them in because we live for these things. But yeah, come back with us next week. We're gonna have another magical episode and you're not gonna want to miss it. So see you there.
Yeah. Bye.